Alright. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stickity Stacks in this thing, baby, representing TKOG. And today I'm going to be updating my prank kid list for this current format. I think this deck obviously is an amazing deck. It's very well rounded. It's good at a lot of things. Has one of the best grind games. It's definitely like top 5 in the terms of recursion. The ability to generate critical mass and a lot of advantage and value off of very little resources whatsoever. Obviously, the deck has some current weaknesses, unfortunately, against some of the top decks. Like UCT can kind of hurt a lot, so can Doka. In the Dino matchup, there's Dogmatic of Punishment that can just like end your turn. There's Shinshin in the VW matchup, and then there's Vanity's Ruler and Herald. Then obviously everybody's main decking like Skullmeister and Ash and Bell, and all those hand traps are really good against this deck. So this deck has a lot of work that it has to put in your matchup, so it's not always going to be in your favor, but at the same time, with all of that, this deck still finds a way to pull out the stops and get the W regardless of all of the turbulence it has to face and all of the kind of like blowout cards that people are either playing in their hand trap lineup or just conveniently have because they happen to be playing one of those decks. But with all those weaknesses factored in mind, I actually upped my hand trap count by an extreme measure because my idea was, instead of letting the board happen and breaking it afterwards, I now have to prevent the board from being established in the first place. So I need to stop Vanity's Ruler from hitting the field. I need to stop Ultimateness from hitting the field. I can't let them summon Shinshin. I can't let them get Chuchi established. I have to try my hardest to prevent those things from occurring. So that I can play my deck the way it's designed to play. So I'm focusing a bit more on the one-card combo versus playing a lot of fusion outlets. I play the extenders, so the idea and the concept behind PRANKIDS is because it has a one-card combo, you can actually play the one-card combo build and center and focus your deck around the one-card combo, or you can go to routes like Thunder Dragon Fusion or Polymerization. You could play those variants, which allow you to play through a lot more hand traps, but they require for you to cut down on your hand traps to put in more cards like the Polys and etc. So what I wanted to do was put in extenders, so that if my one-card combo gets stopped by Meister, etc., or if it gets interrupted by Dryden or Chuchi, I can just keep pushing through that. So it's basically the normal summon and the extenders are what's going to get your combo going. The hand traps are there to simplify the game state or prevent the board from happening. And in worst case scenario, if my opponent ends on a mediocre board, I can contend with that versus what the end board would have been. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and get into the list. So let's go ahead and drop our starters. So PRANKIDS place. The 4 places are always going to be better than drawing any PRANKID monster because these pretty much let you see whatever PRANKID monster you want it to be. And the chain blocking when you're going second is very, very, very useful, very helpful. It turns Meisters into like just literally like neg 1s because once you get your combo going, Meister loses a lot of its value. It just makes it easier to push through the Ash. It forces cards like Dragoon and Omni negates because if they don't negate this, you can start your combo and start chain blocking, which is going to be really, really helpful for you. So we have those, and then we have the 3 Fansies. Fansies is the best PRANKID because it lets you play around so much. It lets you play through hand traps on Doodle. It lets you play around Droll, which is really, really cool. So Fansies is just exceptional. Hey! What are you doing to him? Alright, you guys. That's my kids in the background. Sound like they're fighting each other. And then we have 3 copies of Dropsies. Dropsies, you know, obviously this deck is OP in time, right? 3 copies of Lampsies, and then 3 copies of Roxy's. If you guys are interested in hearing my story behind what I feel these are supposed to resemble, it's in my other PRANKID videos. But essentially, to kind of just like long story short it, I feel that Fansies is young, wild, and free. He's freedom. Roxy's is all about fun. Lampsies is obviously an aggressive Super Saiyan, and Dropsies is a gay crybaby. To wrap it all up, so we have 17 one-card starters. In the extenders, I do play 1-for-1. 1-for-1 is an honorary Fansies. It's a better copy of Fansies, just because it's in an extender form. With Fansies, you want to make this the first PK you summon off the first PK effect, because this gives you information. It lets you play through those hand traps on Doodle, and it makes things easy breezy, lemon squeezy, honestly. And so that's all the PRANKID monsters. Now I'm going to get deeper into the hand traps, because this is something that's really changed a lot. I'm actually maining Nib. I think Nib is exceptional. When it comes down to it, people might say this card's bad, but it's actually really, really good. Dragon Link being in the format, even if they summon Seal in the middle of their combo, Nibiru still hurts. It takes a lot away from them. Just having the Nib at this right time, and because I play 18 hand traps, Nibiru plus Gamma, Nibiru plus Ash, Nibiru plus any hand trap against Dragon Link or against Virtual World or even Drytron is really, really good. Nibbing on the Summon of Union Carrier can be amazing. Nibiruing after Gamma L10 resolves and they put so many bodies on field. Sure, you might trip your Benton, and that's totally fine. You know, you have to live with that. You have to accept that. But taking the bodies away from them to have their tribute fodder for Vanity's Ruler is a lot better than letting, you know, obviously it's not as bad as letting Benton resolve. So Nib is just really good. It has a lot of value and it's worth main decking. It's one of the high impact hand traps that people just don't play around anymore because people don't main it. And then I'm also on 3 Gammas. I like Gamma a lot in this deck. And that includes interactions where you have a hand that beats Nibiru, but the hand that beats Nibiru is when you commit to Doodle, you activate Prankid effect, don't summon, and then you tribute Doodle for cost to add. They go spell you, you chain Gamma because you have no monsters. And it works that way because you don't even activate Pandemonium because you don't play into Nib. And so when you Gamma them, they lose the Ghost Spell and you keep all your cards. So Gamma has applications even when you're comboing. And that includes when you're inboard with Bow Wow Bark. You can actually just Bow Wow Bark, keep some PKs, and have nothing left on field but Bow Wow. So you tribute Bow Wow for a cost, add your stuff, and now Gamma's live, so you can Gamma your opponent whenever you feel the need to, and then you can still resolve Pandemonium after. So this card's really good. Gamma's one of the best hand traps. It just beats so much right now, and because people are playing actual combo decks like Adamantipator, PRANKIDS, etc., like that's an actual deck, Gamma is a more high impact hand trap against those decks than like Ghost Spell and DD Crow and stuff. All these lower impact hand traps. That's one of the reasons why combo decks have been able to thrive so well in this format, because people are literally playing Ash, Bell, Skullmeister, Crow, you know what I mean? And those don't really do too much to combo decks, but these keep combo in check. So that's why I need to main deck these, because I still respect combo decks. So we have these hand traps, and then we also have the 3 Ash. We have 3 copies of Ghost Bell. I'm on triple Skullmeister. And then one of my favorites this format, I love DD Crow right now. It's so freaking good. DD Crow, funny enough, Schism does not banish for cost. So since its effect banishes from the grave to fusion summon, you can actually Ghost Spell that because it includes an effect that banishes. And then also DD Crow. So when you're up against Winda, like DD Crow and Bell and also Skullmeister can be really good. You know, obviously Gamma's impactful, but as your number 6 card, like top decking, if you top deck Crow or Bell, you can stop the Schism play so that you can like still play. So I really like the hand trap lineup. It's 18 as opposed to the traditional like 9 to 12 that you normally would squeeze in there. And the 6 flex spots would normally, if you cut the hand traps down, there would be cards like Polymerization, more extenders, or it could be Cosmic Cyclone if you're scared of Chuchi, or main decking back removal like Feather Duster if you're scared of Dogmatic Punishment, etc. There's a lot this deck has to fear, but don't let all the fears cloud and override your deck building process where you're putting in way too many counters for literally every situation that can occur, and you're not thinking about your entirety of your game plan, what you want your deck to do, and the functionality of it. So that's something I had trouble with playing PRANKIDS, because I know this deck has so many battles it has to fight in different matchups. There's so many things that can end your turn when you're on this build, that you want to main deck all the outs. Like that's why I wanted to main deck like Pankratops and Cosmic Cyclones, and you want to put all these cards to stop it for when the interaction happens. But believe it or not, hand traps can simplify so much for you that normally all your opponent would have to have is literally just back row. And with your extenders, you can push through that with ease. So we're on the 18 hand traps. These are just to make sure Virtual World cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! Nor Drytron, because if you let them play, you won't be able to play. So you definitely want to stop their turn. And then getting past that, we are on some cards that let you play through interruptions, which are going to be 3 Pandemonium. This card being reactive as a quick play allows you to push through Chuchi and Dryden and, you know, cards like Conquistador, cards that would stop your 1-guard combo like Skullmeister, you know, an Ash, Gamma, etc. When you have an extra PK and a Pandemonium, you can push through that. Pandemonium plus 2 PRANKIDS actually plays through up to 3 hand traps depending on which ones they are. This card is very good. It's extremely good. It's a problem solving card, and it directly answers the problems where your opponent interrupts your normal summon. Even if it's Dogmatic Punishment, you chain this to the punishment, they miss their target, they don't get to send, and you can just keep comboing. So this card is just really good. It lets you play through hand traps, and it's one of your main reactive pieces as a part of your inboard. You want to play 3 of this because increasing the odds of opening this in your drawing, basically, if you draw this plus a PK, you don't have to play into Nib. If you draw this plus a few PKs, regardless of whether they have nib or not, you can play through so many different negations, cards that pop, like Trident, Chuchi, and Punishment, cards that like hand traps like Ghost Bell and Skullmeister and Ash. This card lets you push through so much. It's actually very, very ridiculous how resilient your deck can be when you draw the right hand. And then we have one Thunder Dragon Fusion as a Verte Anaconda target. This is just a combo under a lot of turbulence and still get the job done. And then for the extenders, I'm on 1 Pranks, 1 War Legacy Succession. This is something you could play at 2, even 3. It's really, really good. When your 1-card combo gets stopped by Meister or Ash, when you bring back the PK Summon Doodle and just use Doodle to just get a free search, it just lets you play through so much. And then we have the 1 Monster Reborn, and then the 1 1-for-1 and the Instant Fusion. These are all extenders. They're all really, really good. Some are better than others. Sometimes 1-for-1 is like the OP, but Monster Reborn and Instant Fusion, I want to say, are like the best ones. And Pranks is not only an extender, but it's just going to keep your grind game going so that you're not burning through your resources. Because Prankids can burn through their resources quite fast. And that's why sometimes you'll be activating effects but not summoning because you have so little left. And then Plan is an MVP. You have to respect back row. Your in-board should have Plan and Pandemonium, not Pranks and Plan, just to be greedy to get a draw. You can do that if you just want to draw one of the 18 hand traps, but I definitely recommend Plan as a part of your in-board because there are quite a few decks that are playing back rows, and you'd be surprised how good Double Raigeki plus Featherstorm can be. Feather Duster can be against decks like Virtual World, especially. Hitting their Trident, hitting their Chuchis and their Quinlongs to like make them miss their targets is really good. And when you have your Bow Wow Bark protection, they can't Chuchi pop anything. They can only Quinlong negate. And because the simple fact that Quinlong can negate your Battle Butler and force it out, you should be ending on Plan regardless so that you have the opportunity to go Battle Butler plus also Ripborn Rooster, which is really important. So I definitely recommend the Plan. And your in-board normally will be Pandemonium with Plan, Bow Wow Bark plus a random Prankid on your field. So when you fuse into the Battle Butler, you'll use the 3 from hand, so you'll have 4 bodies on field so that you can then link into the Rip Roaring, get another PK out. So you'll have Battle Butler, Rip Roaring Rooster, another PK, Plan up online, and you'll have the double Raigeki plus the Featherstorm, or 1 Raigeki plus double Featherstorm. It's up to you how you want to do it, but Plan is super important as a piece of your in-board. Yes, it sucks that when you activate it, you can't get its graveyard effect, but that's where your resource management comes from, Pranks and also Doodle Doodle Doo. So now I'm going to get into the extra deck. Kingston. Yes? Come on, what you want? What's up? You don't gotta shadow him, Ari. What's up? What you want? Hand me your bottle. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry. Let me get the bottle. You're welcome. Huh? I know. Close the fridge. Close it. Thank you. Watch out. Okay. Yeah. Okay. My five. My five. Give me my kiss. Alright, lady two. Here. Bye bye. Go, sissy. Close the door. Okay. Alright, my bad, you guys. Sorry about that. So, now for the extra deck. We're on 3 Meow Meows. Meow Meow has become so important right now. Ash was one thing, but with so many people main decking Skullmeister, your 1-card combo gets interrupted a lot, and you will have those game states where you have some PK resources and your opponent stops your combo like once, and then there has actually come up where I went into the second Meow Meow. It's like we keep hand trapping each other and one of us is trying to just start comboing. I'm dropping a hand trap, he's dropping a hand trap. I go in a second Meow Meow, it gets hit by another hand trap, and I literally have nothing else but that Prankid, and I'm like, dang, if I had the third Meow Meow, or maybe if I had the Pranks, it would make a difference, but it's like, dang, the third Meow Meow, this format is super duper important. You want to play 3 of this card. Close the door, fat man, close the door. You really want to play 3 Meow Meow. It'll come up a lot. People are just going to hand trap you to death, and when you don't have the third, you can lose games for that, so you don't want that to happen. I also play triple Doodle. I love 3 Doodle. He's so good. You can even cut to 2 Doodle and then play 2 Doodle, 2 Bow Wows. I'm not on the Mystic Mind nonsense, so I actually think that the 3rd Doodle does come up a lot, and it's a lot better for you. In your combo sequences, you will go into this a lot. What I say? I said close the door. Okay, close the door. Okay. Thank you. Alright, so yeah, 3 Doodle, 1 Bow Wow Bark. You can do 2 and 2, but I like 3 Doodle. Doodle is just super duper OP. Especially like when something happens to your Doodle, making a second one. So like if the first one gets negated for whatever reason, you make the second one and use it to tribute to Add from Grave. Especially when Imperm and Fleur de Lis were like more popular, you have to just climb Doodle into Doodle into Doodle over and over. So it's up to you. You can do the 2-2. I like the 3-1. Doodle just, again, Doodle and Meow Meow are really huge for your grind. And when you're playing under Turbulence through so many hand traps, you need extra copies of these a lot because they'll get like negated. You can't tribute to add because it's like won't resolve even if you tribute for cost, and you just need the backup copies. And then I'm on Rip. I think Rip is worth main decking. Rip is way too good, you guys. This card's amazing. Super OP. And adding a hand trap from graveyard to hand if this card dies is just disgusting. And then for the other boss monster, we're on Battle Butler. These are your like pretty much what you want to end on. A way to summon these on your opponent's turn in a reactive way. And then I'm on double Rocket Ride and 1 Weather Washer. I think you could get away with playing 1 Rocket Ride, but you just hate to see if this gets banished or you lose it. It's really, really like extremely important. Weather Washer has its day where it's good. When your PRANKIDS attack, your opponent can't activate anything. That's really broken. And then when you're playing against dinos, what you actually want to do is instead of summoning Battle Butler and getting raped by Miscellaneous Source, you want to summon Weather Washer, tag out into your Doodle and your Bow Wow Bark. Now they can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effects. So UCT could like declare an attack, you'll take a little bit of damage, but they don't die by battle. You can't pop them with Pankratops or anything like that. And on your next turn, you can just turn these into an access code talker. Gain the attack, and then you can just access code. So you're literally gonna out the entire dino board. If it's like just UCT Dolka, you just kill both of them with the access code talker itself, and you can still go for game. So that's kind of like my little combo that I do against dinos, because I know dinos is another. It's again PK, like as in PRANKIDS, have just so many unfavorable matchups because the design of some of those cards can just end your life. Like in everything your deck stands for just doesn't work against some of those interactions. But when you're smart and you're a little, you know, just like a witty fox, right? You can kind of like think of some tricks here and there, like some tricks that'll help you to kind of combat that issue. And I think the access code play off of Weather Watcher is definitely the correct play you want to make. Now we also are on, and another cool thing, I mean, you can keep these up. Like, for example, this is already getting an attack boost off of the Bow Wow. It's at 3,000. If you had PRANKIDS Place and you were able to boost these or shrink something, and this is at 35, you could boost it one more time and just 4K swing over UCT, because UCT can't change links to defense, you know what I'm saying? So there's different ways to do it, but I think access code is the main way. And then Verte Anaconda, this helps you to combo through stuff like Nibiru, interruptions on your Doodle. You can just pretty much use the extenders that you have to go into this. I also recommend, if Nibiru becomes so prevalent to the point where people want to main deck it again, you want to cut something out of your extra deck. Like, for example, I'm on the Poly build, so you don't have to play Toad. I just like it as a follow-up, and if you draw 1/1, you can make Toad, but you can cut this for the Link Spider, because in my other PRANKIDS video, I was explaining to you how when you play Link Spider and Verde, you can combo through Nib. What happens is, let's say your hand is just gas, right? Like it could have been like Poly 2 Pranks, but like let's say your hand's just gas. You play through the Ash, and then you got to the point where you start comboing, your opponent drops a Nibiru on you, and you're like, ooh, I have Instant Fusion. I drop Instant Fusion, I go into Rocket Ride, but then your opponent is like, I negate Rocket Ride or something like that. If you have a Link Spider, you can pretty much use the Link Spider as the Nibiru token to basically turn the Nibiru token into an effect monster, and any extender, whether it's Instant Fusion, etc., plus the Link Spider token, the Link Spider goes into Verde. Verde summons Battle Butler through the Nib plus another hand trap, which is really good. Back when Imperm was in the format, you could combo through 3 Imperms, a Gold Spell, and a Nibiru, and still end on Battle Butler. And it was just that broken. So Verde Anaconda with Thunder Dragon Fusion is really worth it. Plus the follow-up is very necessary. And then we're on Toad. This is something you don't have to play in the normal summon build, but as a follow-up, it's really good. And there are some hands where you can actually make this card without fusion summoning, which is really, really good. So you still want to play Toad, in my opinion. it's way too good to not play, but you can easily cut it. If you just want to throw in another utility card, you can do that. You can play the Nightmares, do whatever you want. It's your deck. I wouldn't tell you how to play your deck, and you shouldn't tell me how to play mine. And honestly, the best thing we can do is just build each other up, uplift each other, and kind of encourage each other with suggestions, but not implying in a forceful manner. Yes, King, hold on. Now for the side, I'm siding 3 Judgment. I couldn't find my There Can Be Only Ones. I'd rather play There Can Be Only One and Skill Drain, but I just couldn't find my Judgment. I couldn't find my There Can Be Only One, so I put in Judgment. I mean, it's good. It can stop Twin Twister and Cyclone on your Pandemonium, which can end your turn, so yeah. I mean, it can literally just lose you the duel, so Judgment's still good. Skill Drain, obviously another win condition. All your PRANKIDS tribute for cost in the extra deck except Meow, so you can pay cost and Skill Drain will no longer apply to them, so you can pretty much just play Yu-Gi-Oh! Under Skill Drain. Your PRANKIDS activate Engrave. The only thing you lose is Doodle Doodle Doo's effect to activation on when it's Link Summon, and you also lose Bow Wow Bark's effect to boost. But at the same time, you can use Fansies to dump the card you would have searched off Doodle under Skill Drain, tribute Doodle for cost, and add that card. So you can still search with Doodle using Fansies under Skill Drain. So it's a really good card, and some people just don't have the out to it. Then I'm on 3 Lancia, 3 Joel. I know I play 18 hand traps, but you can never have enough of these crazy decks that people are playing. You need as many as you can get. And then some blowouts are going to be evenly. This could be Red Reboot. I definitely, again, it's just totally up to you. You could play Reboot, Feather Duster, and I don't know, like another random. But like, to be honest, if I had it my way, it probably would be Reboot, Feather Duster, and then 3 There Can Be Only Ones with the Skill Drain. Because when you go first, no matter what hand traps they throw at you, when you have a There Can Be Only One or a Skill Drain, it's an additional win condition that your opponent will be caught off guard by. But that is my PRANKID list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned from it. You can always feel free to comment down below your thoughts. Just make sure that you're always respectful towards the other people in the comment section, and make sure that you have some good logic to back up your implications, you know, and just make sure that you're polite about it. But anyways, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Lord Jesus Christ. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord Jesus, and please forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you, Father. Amen. All right, you guys. This is me signing out. Deuces.